Right, so I thought we'd do a little video on this problem we've got, and it's probably a problem if you own a 45 you've probably had or probably will do in the future, and it's where the door handle has come loose or broken away from its mountings. Basically, on these plastic door handles you've got two nuts that are moulded into the plastic, one here and one here, and then a bolt goes in from the inside and fixes this handle on. And what happens is the plastic holding the little nut over age sort of weakens, and then when you go to open the door it breaks away and you're left with your door handle hanging off a little bit like that. What we've done in the past is bought a new door handle from eBay, painted it the right colour and fitted it. But one of the things we found is that the door handles you buy are not always as good as the originals, and when you repaint them the paint doesn't always take to these handles for some reason. So we're going to try another repair that we've seen done. It was actually done to one of our cars when we bought it, and it's actually lasted longer than buying a new door handle, because the other thing is when you buy one of the new door handles, obviously eventually after 2-4 years that plastic's going to age and it's going to snap away. This door handle that was repaired doesn't appear to do that, although it's not something we are necessarily keen on doing. We're going to give it a go on this and see how it lasts. And what they appear to have done is used a little screw here, put it through and fixed it into the original mounting, and that's held. And what I'll do, I'll take you over to the car and just show you how that looks from the outside. Hopefully you can see there's a little screw there holding this door handle on. That's on our green 45, so I just thought I'd show you that there before we start the job and how it appears to have been done, and actually looks fairly neat. Right, so we're back inside our blue 45 where we're doing the jobs. The first thing we're going to do is take the inside door panel off. Now you probably could struggle possibly and do this job without doing it, but it is going to be a struggle. And it's going to be fiddling, you might not get such good results. So we're going to take this door panel off, and actually compared to some cars it's not too bad a door panel to remove. The first thing we normally do is remove the screw in the door handle there. Once you've done that, this door handle sort of goes out one side and clips out. You've then got two screws up in the door handle, and this little plastic screw, which sometimes if you can't get out will pull out with the door. Apart from that, it's then just clips and a case of pulling this door panel out. So really it's only three main screws, that little plastic screw there, and then unclipping it and it should be away. So that's what we're going to do now. Right, so once you've got the screw removed, what you need to do is just force this handle that way and wiggle it a bit, and it will come out. And if you look, you can see there's like a little tang there, and there's then one at the bottom of this, and you can see there are two holes in the bit of metal that they hook into. So that's how you remove this door handle. Then what you need to do is get the little bit of linkage off of the door handle next. You shouldn't lose it because it should just lay in there. Right, so hopefully you can see in there, there's the metal rod or the lever that gets pulled backwards and forwards when you pull this door handle, and that little bit of plastic holds it in position and stops the little hook end that goes into the door handle from coming upwards. So what I've done with this screwdriver is just pushed that out the way. It was slightly unclipped anyway, and then from there what you should be able to do is very easily move the door handle about, and you can see it's unhooked from that piece of metal, and you can see there the hole that it was in. It comes out very easily once this little piece of plastic has been removed. That's very easy to break, that bit of plastic, if you don't sort of gently lever it out the way and just pull it out the way. And there's a better view of the back. You can see those two little hooks there that basically hook in. Is on this one at some time that hook there has been broken off because Normally it would be the 3 hooks on there, but still more than enough to hold it with that screw. And when you do this sort of car this age, it's bound to have been removed before, and probably someone's tried to lever it away and unfortunately snapped that off, but it doesn't appear to affect the work in that door handle. The next bit is to remove the 2 screws that are on this handle right here. And then with this little screw here, sometimes it just needs a little bit of levering, and it's out. Then what we do is wind that screw out a little bit, push it back in. That's when we're fitting it, and then put the little plastic screw back in. That's all the fixings removed. Now it's a case of unclipping the door panel from the door. Right, so when it comes to now unclipping the door panel, it's kind of hooked here at the top and clipped in here at the bottom. So what I'll do is just get my fingers there, or you can use a trim tool and unclip it. Unclip the door panel from the bottom. You can see that it's now loose and sort of swinging away, and then it is a case of then lifting it up and out and removing it from the top clips, and then moving it away. Right, so that's the door panel removed. That's the back side of it, and if there are any clips sort of missing like that one there, all you need to do is get them out of the door. So there's the clip in the door. Luckily with this one it's only just sitting there, so I can pull that out. If we come round to where it's missing, you can see, well, it's slightly broken again where it's been out before, but you can then just slide it back in like that, and then they're all there ready to put back. And of course, if you've got some spare clips, you can replace that clip with a new one. Lucky enough, all the other clips on the door, as you can see, there come with it. So if we have a little look at the back side of the door, you've got a selection of these clips all the way around the side and the bottom. So that's both sides of the bottom, and then this clips down inside by the window. Of course, you had those 2 arm mountings there, the mounting holding the door handle, and then that little plastic screw from the back side. So really, as I said, only really 3 main fixings and the door handle, which you can see all there in shot, and then those series of clips. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is now remove the nut and bolt that's broken. Now normally you'd put your ratchet in there and remove it out, but it's going to slip because this is now not attached to this plastic door handle. So what we've done is put some tape there, and what we do then is put some pliers on here. I will then go round to the inside, put the socket on the nut and undo it, and hopefully that'll grip it and get it out. That's the only way to get that out, and we want that out because we need that hole there for the modification that we're going to do. Right, so we've now moved that nut and bolt from there, and as you can see, there it is, and I've just put it on the end of that nut there, so that's now removed and not needed. And what we've also done is undone the one that side. That's got the door handle nice and loose, and it'll let us be able to move it about and position it. And what we're hoping to do is put a drill from the inside through this hole here, and then we'll come out the door there just as it does on the green car that we've got, and then we'll put a kind of a mounting there so the screw can go back through and on to that. So that's the next stage of a little bit of a clean up in there as well, and then we'll start the modification. Then once that's the screw sort of half threaded in and it's back on, we then do that nut up at the same time, and looking in there, that's looking nice and intact, and we just put the bolt in there so we don't lose it whilst we're doing the modification. Right, so we've now given that a little clean round, and what we've also done is just bent this little metal tang back slightly, because when this side broke, that got slightly bent out while we were initially trying to look in there, and probably when we opened it those initial times as it was broke, which you'll probably find happens on yours, and that's why we disconnected this bolt as well. One, to give us a little bit of a better look in there, but also just to straighten that little mounting point up. We're now ready to get the drill inside and drill through and then out to that, so hopefully that hole will line up. Then we can put through our little self-tapping screw, and then we can put the original bolt back that side, and it should be nice and secure. So that's what we're going to be doing next. Right, so after drilling that little pilot hole, we're now drilling with the size of hole hopefully we need. Right, so that's the hole now drilled. As you see, what we did was turn the handle round this way, and that allowed us to drill from the inside. And the way we knew that it would be right is because the original mounting point is still there, so we knew it would line up with that hole. Then once the pilot hole was through, we then turned it back over and drilled the bigger hole that we needed. And the plastic is actually quite thick, so there's no problem with that screw pulling through, which, you know, there's been proof of where it was done on the other car. You'll see also what we've done is just put some tape back round after cleaning it, just so we don't scratch any of the paintwork. It's just really a sort of a safety guard. You shouldn't, but it's there just in case. Right, so what we've also done is countersunk this little hole so that the screw will sit a little bit less sticking out. Yeah, we've decided to use an engineering screw. Obviously it's too long at the moment. What we've done is push that through, and this gives you an idea of how it's going to look there. And what you can do later on is actually even have that the colour of the car. And if we go inside, right, and then as we come round inside, you can see that screw is poking through the mounting hole, and you can hopefully put a little bit of marker pen so we know where to cut it. One, you don't want it too long, and secondly, we don't want the window coming down and catching it. And then if we come round to this side, you can see how that hole is lining up ready to put the original bolt through. So the next stage is to get that cut. Right, so we've now got our little bolt cut to length, and as you can see, what we've done is put a little nut on there that fits it, and then a little repair washer, and that's just so it cannot pull through that hole, and it'll be nice and secure. It'll also be harder for someone to undo it from the outside as well. As we've said before in the video, we don't really think that's a problem, because there's a lot easier ways of breaking into a car than undoing the little modification we're doing. But it just makes sure, but also will make sure it's nice and strong in there as well. So the next thing is to start putting it back together and do that screw up. Right, so hopefully you can see now from the back side we've got that repair washer on and the little nut, and we've started it and done it up. We've left a little bit of movement, wiggle room in there, so we can fit on the original bolt this side, and then we'll tighten them both up. And how we did that, basically, I was holding a pair of pliers on the little nut, while from the other side we then used a screwdriver to do that little screw up. As I say, the next bit to do is now just to put that little nut in the other side. Alright, so we're slowly doing that little bolt up, and what we've done is used a ratchet spanner, because it's a bit difficult to get a socket in there, and that just allows you to gently do that up and get it tightened. Right, so that's both sides done up, the original bolt there, and of course our modification there. We haven't gone really tight, we've just done it to the point where it just starts to go tight, because we find if they're too tight it's more likely to break out of the plastic. And then if we shut the door, hopefully you can see the door handle is on nicely, and the door is working as it should do. The weather's not too good at the moment. What we will do, we've got the right colour paint, and we'll touch that little screw in so it matches the colour of the door. And as I said before, what we've always done is bought new door handles, but we have found the ones you buy just don't seem to be good as the originals, and they also eventually have the same fault. The plastic fails there, and you have to go out and buy a new one. As I said, on our green 45, this modification will be done by somebody else, and he's lasted the whole time we've had it, which must be nearly 5 years or so, which is far better than some of the new door handles have lasted. So we're going to give this a try, and we also thought it'd be good for you to see a different way of doing it rather than just changing the door handle. If you can't get hold of one, or you don't want to do it like that, this is a repair that's doable, possible, and looks fairly neat. And as I said, it's never bothered us on the green one. In some ways we'd rather not do it like this. It's nice to buy a new door handle, but it's certainly an alternative way of doing it, and we're certainly going to see how it works on this car as well. All we've got to do now is put back the door panel inside. That's just the reverse of what we did. Right, so that's the door panel all back on, and more or less, as I said, the reverse of taking off. The only thing we found is it's better if you have the window wound down, and then you go in at an angle and put this bit in up this end first, and then slowly push it down, lining up this lock, and then slowly tap round all the clips. Apart from that, similar to what it was taking it off. So the job there is more or less done. As always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to look at our other videos, like, subscribe, and look at our Instagram and Twitter page as well. As always, thank you very much for watching.